But no, good to see everybody. Welcome to the first SpeakerHub co-working session for February. Hopefully you all had a great weekend and your first one, what is it, 8.33% of 2025 has already expired because we lost 1 month already. So hopefully you're on track to reach your goals one way or another. My goal is to help you all to do that by any means necessary. And sometimes that means through encouragement, and sometimes that means through giving technical support. So that's what we're here to do. Good to see everybody. We have the usual suspects. There are no new people in the room at this point. So are there any technical questions that anyone may have about the system? Bart?
I didn't know if you had an update on the...
Yep. So about the admin, yep, I can show you what it's going to look like. It's in testing right now. Hopefully it can be approved by the end of the day. And basically, here's what's going to happen. So I'll show you this. Here. Can you see my screen here? Can you see that, Bart?
Yes.
Okay. So basically what we've added is a new role called owner. And the owner is you. And then you can assign admin or member rights to your users, right? And the member can only log into their own account. The admin will be able to log into anybody's account, but they can't delete or change any billing. Only that will be in the owners. So your admin can log into your account, follow up, do whatever they're doing inside of your workspace, right? But then they can also log into anyone else's workspace on your team, just in case if you have like a manager or something like that, right? So we even put a little role explanation up at the top that says admins are allowed to sign into everyone's account, but they don't have the ability to invite or remove someone from the team. But a member can only log into their own account. So the ability to create and delete people is still the owner. Does that make sense? So that way, if someone quits, they can't delete all your data by leaving and say, I'm going to delete my account to hurt them, right? Only you can add or delete people. Got it?
Got it. Yep.
So we worked on that this weekend as promised, and it went to QA this morning, quality assurance this morning, and it should be live hopefully sometime this afternoon.
Okay, thank you. Great.
Yep. Also, the other thing that is on Express that hopefully is live by this afternoon is adding, we had the issue with podcast episodes where the name of the podcast wasn't showing up. So if you pitched an episode, you didn't know which podcast you pitched because we didn't show the name. So that's in progress. Also, trying to think, there was another, we're fixing the fields in the data upload for an individual. When you upload a list of individuals, you shouldn't have to put in an event name because it's a list of individuals, right? So what we're trying to do is to make it where you can upload the individuals, but not have to put in event details because they may not be from an event, right? So we're just working through a lot of the little small bugs, but again, we find all these things based on your feedback. So are there any questions about that before I go to John?
Ron, there was one more update about the mailbox changes that we discussed this morning.
Is that live or no?
No, it's coming.
Oh,
we were just giving updates around what's coming.
Okay. No. But I don't know if that's going to be live today. That may be live later this week.
Got it. Okay.
That was just on hot
fixes. Mention that too.
No, those are just hot fixes that we're doing. We that it's something that you don't need to demonstrate, that hot fix. So okay. I don't have a screenshot or anything of the new mailbox, so I won't talk about it.
Okay.
But we're simplifying the mailbox to make it a lot easier for everyone, to make sure that we can, I'll tell you what are the features in the new mailbox. Right now, whenever you start a pitch and you leave, it doesn't save it, right? But once this new mailbox is released this week, if you started typing a pitch and you log out, when you log back in, it puts you right back where you were in that mailbox. So that we put the auto save feature where a lot of companies, they make you click save, ours just auto saves and leaves you where you were so that you can come in and out. And it does two things. It reduces about 15 seconds in a follow-up because you don't have to wait on the AI anymore because you left the screen. So the AI will generate once and it won't generate again until you click generate again for the second time. So that's a huge time saver. We tested it this weekend, me and Miguel, and we demonstrated it earlier today. So that's going to be incredible when it's fully released. Any other questions? Thanks for the update on that, Edge. I know that was something we were discussing, but that's another one of our hot fixes. Looks like we got a couple new people. So good to see you, Kathy, again. I want to go ahead and get to John's question, and then we're going to introduce Dr. Christian Frazier. And it looks like we got Rhonda Ross in for the first time. And then we'll go from there. John, what's up, man?
Hey, Chief, I noticed when sending pitches, I just started sending out some pitches. I'm seeing this message that comes up about using a writer AI can lead to inaccurate information. What are some of the inaccuracies that we should be looking for or should be, aware of that are possible?
Well, that's called a legal disclaimer
Okay.
because people will just click the button and not read it. So sometimes we will even put the things out of order. So we'll combine the paragraphs together just to make sure to force people to go in and take responsibility for it. Because we just, if it says something stupid, you're going to, well, why you say that to them? I didn't say that. And we're like, did you read it? So because people won't read it, we just put the disclaimer there to make sure I don't have to call my lawyers to sue you back.
Okay. I got it.
That's how that works.
All right, thanks.
Yep. Bart, what's up?
Yeah, just a quick one. So if we move someone to archive, is there a way to move them back? So I got a response and to get them out of my field there to follow up. And it was kind of trending on, well, maybe I don't want to do that or not, or they wasn't paying or whatever the case may be. But then if they come back later on, if they continue to talk, then maybe I want to move them into something else, but you can't do that.
That's in the new mailbox.
Okay.
The new mailbox, you do have that.
Got it.
But it's just so many new features in the new mailbox. I didn't want to walk through all of them today, but I'll do an entire talk on the new mailbox once it's released later this week. But that is one of the features that you brought up back in December and other people brought up also that we're implementing. So, but again, we want to be the most responsive development team out there. If you give us something that you think will make the product better, we're going to put it in there, right? And we're going to kind of run you through it to make sure that it can stand on its own legs. But we're going to try to build the best product on the market. So any other quick questions before we do a couple introductions? I want Dr. Frazier to introduce himself. And I think we got Alexis Militant in here. And then we got Rhonda Ross.
Ron, say Ron had a question.
Yep, say Ron, what's up?
She put it in the chat. I don't know if she can come off mute, but she says, I'm not able for some reason.
Yeah, I'm in the comment area. Yeah, if you can read it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
thank you. It says on the brand, you're welcome. On the branding kit where we see my audience, can I edit it? Can I edit what is there? Or nor fill the field with AI?
Yeah, sorry, there is a typo, sorry. I cannot edit or use the filling. It's right there. It's whatever is there. I cannot edit it for some reason.
For the audience on the branding kit.
Yeah, on the branding kit. If you can show that screen, it's right like on the top, and there's
yeah, I'm able to edit mine pretty regularly. I mean, I'm in it right now, and I can type in there just fine. Let's see. So.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, when I want to. Okay, so if I delete that. If I could just highlight everything and fill with the writer AI, it doesn't work for me. And also the down boxes.
So here's how you do that. So when you come in and you want writer AI to do it, you just click that. You don't change anything.
It doesn't work.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Maybe another bug. I'm glad you found it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, even like the figure
There it
number, the
was.
location, those, it
Yep.
doesn't
So
change for me.
mine just worked just fine.
Yeah, I can show you, send you screenshot. Yeah, mine is still the same, like you, it's like for
So
everybody.
you're saying the bottom doesn't change or the top?
The top and the bottom, all of it.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're all using the same code, so I don't know why that wouldn't change for you. I mean, because it just updated mine. The bottom probably wouldn't change because you didn't change what you're doing, but the target profile at the top should update in some way. But again, the audience here is just there. It is. Yeah, just update it again.
Yeah,
It's
mine
working
is.
just fine. So maybe you should log out and log back in, and you should be good.
Yeah, I did. Okay.
Yeah, try. Or if it's not working, let's hop on another call because
Okay.
when I just
Okay.
demonstrated there, it's working just fine.
Okay. Okay.
But I would love to troubleshoot it. Maybe it's something specific with your account.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. So, hey guys, I want to introduce myself again. I'm Ron Story. I'm the head of product at SpeakerHub, and we do this call every day from 12 until noon. I mean, from 12 until 1. Not 12 until noon, that means it would have been over, but from 12 until 1 Eastern time, where speakers from all over the country and all over the world hop in to get help getting booked on more stages. Whether you're a customer of ours at SpeakerHub or not, we will help you with the same vigor and enthusiasm because our mission is to get more speakers on stage with or without us, right? So, Alexis, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Shannon's VA, Dr. Shannon Whittington's VA.
Okay.
Yeah, we attended the conference or this meeting last week. We just have one question because we are trying to connect our sending email. However, it's not allowing us both in Outlook and Gmail.
Okay, can you share your screen with me and I can walk you through that?
Okay.
And then we're gonna do some introductions. Looks like Rhonda got an album cover. She's singing. So if you click over on, click on your name on the right. Yep. And then go ahead and connect. And you have to give it the permissions in the background. It should ask you if you want to allow us to send on your behalf. Go ahead and click that. And
That's weird.
What permissions?
so I can't see what you're doing. All I can see is the screen.
Okay.
So any pop-ups we can't see unless you
Did we get a
share the
pop-up?
entire screen.
Okay.
Yeah, you should have got a pop-up or something, but you gotta share the entire screen if you want my help. Or if it's something that if you can't share your screen quickly like this, because this will be online, go ahead and set up a private time with me and I'll walk through it privately, but looks like it's gonna work. Okay, so which one are you gonna pick? Because I going with Google? Okay, good. And it's not doing anything?
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second. Let me try on my side. And or wait, let me ask you a question. 1 second here.
Okay,
Shannon,
that's
are you
working.
logged in to the account also?
Let me make sure I'm not. Probably that might be the issue.
You and Alexis can't be logged in at the same time. You have to
Okay, I
give
just
her.
logged out.
Yeah, so that's the issue. Both of you are logged in at the same time. Only one person can be logged in. So wait a minute, Alexis. Let me
Yeah.
help you a bit, baby. Can you hit refresh on your screen? Yep. Let's see. All right. And yeah, I don't know what this is.
Well, she's in the Philippines, so
Yeah, but I mean,
could be a slower.
well, I think it was because both of you were logged in. Just go ahead and hit refresh one more time. We just got to make sure that it clears the cookie out of the page. Yep. So let's do this. Okay, there we go. So we're in. Go ahead and click connect with Outlook. All right. Now, once this comes up, I'll walk you through it. Are you already signed into an Outlook account?
We have
Yes, but we have
Okay.
to delete it and
So,
reassign it
so
again.
yeah. So Microsoft has a funny thing where let's because I don't want to take up 20 minutes. It's going to take me
Yeah.
about 10 minutes to fix it. And can you give them my calendar because they have a cookie of Microsoft that's in the browser that we can't do anything about. But we'll fix that for you. But we'll get you connected, Shannon.
Okay.
No
All
problem.
right. Thank you so much.
Yep. Yeah, no problem. So, hey,
Thanks,
guys.
Alexis.
Yeah, I would love for everyone to introduce themselves. Alexis, Ann should be putting my calendar link in the chat so that we can get this
Oh,
resolved. So, Reverend Frazier, you want to introduce yourself? Good to see you.
I'm grateful to be here. My name is Reverend Dr. Frazier. I am a speaker. I've been doing it. I speak at corporations, colleges, universities. I'm a national mental health first aid instructor, and I just wrote a new book, Happiness Triggers. So I've been speaking about this, happiness triggers in the workplace, happiness triggers in higher education, and it's been praised by a lot of people in the public health and the mental health industry. So I eat, breathe, and talk about mental health, and I talk about it's designed for people who went through a lot of trauma and never received the help that they needed.
No, that makes sense. No, welcome aboard. Welcome to SpeakerHub. If you're new here and you don't have a SpeakerHub profile, be sure to go get a free SpeakerHub account. We'd love to have you as a part of the family, but we're going to help you regardless, whether you're with us or not. Our goal is to get more people on stage. So if you wanted to know how to get booked more, this is the place to be. Rhonda Ross, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, hello. Yes, I will.
In case we didn't know.
In case you didn't know. Nice to see everyone. My name is Rhonda Ross. I am a speaker, singer, songwriter, and I create keynote concerts that talk to people about their mindset. I like to call it the magic of mindset. And so I was this morning watching a podcast, an old podcast with you, Ron, from about a year ago, and I reached out to you on LinkedIn, and you sent me this link. So I'm really happy to be here and to learn about SpeakersHub. Everything is new to me, so I'm just listening.
No, great to see you. Actually, that podcast was from 2 years ago, February 2023, with Chantel and Nwale, Created for More. I'm glad that you mentioned, I'm glad you showed up, first off, because we always say, hey, you should be going on podcasts because that's how
Yeah.
people will follow you and they will become clients, or at least you meet a new friend, even if they never become a client, but you just never know who you're helping or who's listening. So I'm glad you joined us today. You're in the right place. If your goal is to get on more stages, whether it's through LinkedIn, like that video was talking about, or through you doing outreach, that's what we help you with here at SpeakerHub. MN, I'm not sure who MN is, but I'm going to call him Minnesota. Minnesota, if you would like to introduce yourself.
Yeah, well, that's actually what some would call me. Some would call me manganese, but yeah, my name is really MN. I'm also from the Philippines, and I'm Miss Ann McNeil's VA. Yeah, it's actually Miss Ann has like a lot of plans and like good stuff. Or is sharing like a lot about this group, and I'm very much excited to learn more. Kind of keep my life and everything on track. Yeah, so I'm just very much looking forward. This is my first time joining, and yeah, there's just like a lot of things that I can imagine looking forward to. I'm very much excited.
Oh, thanks for coming. And thanks for inviting more people. We always love it. Ann has the biggest team in the world. I think she has 87 employees that have joined at some point in the last 3 months. So, but that's proof that she's working. Her team is working hard to get her on stage, and she has a goal of hitting 100 podcasts by June. And we're going to do everything we can to make sure that that goal becomes a reality. And you got a question, comment, concern,
So I
celebration?
just want to make a statement that we're up to almost one a day now.
One book in a day? That is incredible. Dude, that's freaking incredible. Like that's 30 a month. Oh, you're gonna hit 100 by April. That's
But
gonna be good.
I want to thank AJ Vassar. I was on his podcast over the weekend, and so we have one scheduled for each 4 days out of this week so far. Thank you.
No, that's cool. That's incredible. Really, really, really big deal. And again, we had Rhonda here, who's evidence that podcasting works. One of the things that I wanted to talk about today, first, I want to kind of just walk some of those who are new with us, kind of what we do at SpeakerHub, and then I'll get into my little 5 minutes that I want to talk about. So, if you don't know who we are SpeakerHub, and every 90 minutes or so, someone gets booked using our platform. So now we're showing you who's signing up for trials and who's getting booked. We're going to start showing more proof, which follows our mantra of show your work. So if you haven't done the speaker scorecard, you should go over to score.speakerhub or speaker status and find out where you rank as a speaker. By completing this quick, it's like 4 minute, someone just did it 16 minutes ago. By completing this quick 5 minute multiple choice question, we'll give you a badge based on where you are. And we'll also give you the suggestions that will take you from emerging to experienced or from experienced to expert. We learned a lot from I think 500 people have visited and started this in one way or another. Everybody didn't finish it, but a lot of people have gone to the page and started finding out what their speaker status is, because we give you a score in 4 or 5 different categories, and we tell you what you can improve in those 5 categories in order to make it to the next level. So that's what this is about. It's the speaker scorecard, or speaker status, as we like to call it. But here's what our goal is. Our goal is to help speakers to get booked using inbound and outbound lead generation. Inbound is how people find you. Outbound is you pitching yourself to the stages you want to be on. As you heard, we don't believe that speaking only includes speaking on a live stage in front of 5,000 people. Whenever you share your intellectual property, your signature talk, your signature topic, your research and experience, in my mind, that's a speaking gig. So we believe you should be doing that on podcasts, associations, conferences, and through media outlets to reaffirm your authority. A lot of speakers start off, and the first thing they want to do is just do conferences, but they haven't really built the credibility necessary to get there. They may have taken the course, they may have bought the data set, but they don't have the market visibility to actually land that stage when competing against someone else. So this is what we teach. This is what we build everything upon. I don't know any other way to get people booked outside of this. For the last 6 years, I've worked with over 1,000 speakers myself, pitching them to different stages. So this is the framework that I developed after watching the best speakers in the world and watching them to get booked. The question we always ask is, if you were to think of your top 5 favorite speakers, have you heard all 5 of them speak live? And if you haven't, that means that you got caught up somewhere in their flywheel. You saw them on a podcast, on YouTube, you read a book that they wrote, something like that, or someone introduced you to them, but it wasn't through a live stage that you know about them. So as a speaker, we don't want you just focusing on live stages either. We want to follow the roadmap that's already been given to us. So Jasmine, what's your question?
Yeah. You see, you're telling us to work and listen, and I can't do both. But so anyway, I finished my I did my score. I finished a survey yesterday on the weekend, Saturday, and I see where the ranking is, but where do I find that after it's done? It's completed.
Yep. So you should have got an email that lets you go back to your score. It should have shown it on the last page. It should have revealed what your score was. It gave you
I
the
know what it
report.
was, and it showed, you know,
And then we
what
should have
level
sent
I
you
am.
you should have gotten an email with the details of what to do. Did you get that? Because that would have shown up on your page.
I don't, it would just come from SpeakerHub. I got a lot of SpeakerHub email, but it came from Raquel for something else.
1 second, let me see. Let
I
me
did
see.
experience.
One moment. I'm gonna check it out. Give me a moment.
Yeah.
And Jasmine,
Jazz
D Health.
Jasmine
See it right here. Right? Do you mind if I share it on the screen, Jasmine, or no?
No, I don't mind.
I'll send you the link to it. Okay. Just want to make sure. So here's Jasmine's report, and her overall was 59%, which is good. In speaking experience, 52. In virtual speaking, which is what she's been working on with us, getting more podcasts. But on-site speaking, 71. Marketing, 71. Sales, 59. So this is your, this is the answers that you gave.
Yeah.
And then I want to be able to give you the report. 1 second. And view the result. Here we go. Boom. And I'm going to send you this link.
Yeah.
Right. And then we tell you what you can do and which tools in SpeakerHub will help you with that. Right.
Yeah.
So here you go.
So you had me as experience, the badge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Experience. Yep.
Yeah.
Which is where that's the program that you're on.
Yeah.
Right. So does this make sense, guys?
Yeah, and it only took her 20 minutes it said up there, so that was encouraging.
Hey. It doesn't take 20 minutes. That was Jasmine. She would have got some lunch in the middle of her survey. She took a break. So
no,
leave Jasmine alone. We ain't gonna be beat up on Jasmine.
Oh, I can take it. I can take it. You know what my background is. I can take it. You tell him, Ron.
Yeah, I know. But
I thought 20 minutes was a good thing.
No, man. This should be quick. The average person is spending, let me see, how much time are they spending? 5 minutes and 55 seconds.
I was in my office on my Saturday multitask. I was proud of myself that I was working on Saturday on my business. I was very proud of myself. What else did I do? And I did something else. So I did the survey. I did a lot of follow-ups. Tons of follow-ups. So that was amazing.
Kurt is letting his Omega bully come out. Man,
oh my God. Hey, the crazy thing is my dad came into town and he's an alpha too. So he was like, sometimes the Omegas get me stressed out. And when my blood pressure comes up, I gotta move. I was like, we're not all like that.
No, man. Hey, it's a joke. For those who don't know, there's a beautiful rivalry amongst Black collegiate fraternities, and my actual college, I got a scholarship from the East St. Louis chapter of Omega Psi Phi, and so I'm eternally grateful to you guys for helping me become the man that I am. Some of my mentors were Omega men, so. So high five. Even though I'm jabbing you a little bit, we're on the same team, my man.
Sure.
Bonnie, you got another question? I think you're muted.
I am. Yes, I do. Thank you very much. Every time somebody asks a question and I see a whole new level of this, I'm just like, wow. Okay. I'll catch up one of these days. I'll catch up. I'm working on it. So I wonder if you guys would look at a speaker sheet that I've had for a while, and after class from last week, and listen to some of like, these are the things in the order that they need to be. If I could just get a little constructive criticism on reorganizing it. You up for that?
Sure. Yeah, if you want to share, go ahead.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. Oops, hang on. I'm so sorry.
No, this is
I
part of
opened
it.
it. Here we are. Everybody hang on a second. That's what I want. Okay. All right. So here's one I created in Canva. Can you guys see it? Am I with you?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Maybe to look at it and then see if you can help me. Whoop.
Okay. So let's see. What I would say is so that it doesn't appear to be a brochure for your book, right? Because it's a little bit of information about your speech, but it's more, the photos on the page take up about 70% of the page. We have the photo of you, we have a raccoon, we have the book, and then we have another photo of you, right? I don't think we need those two, because we need to get more information about the people you help. I see your topics, but I don't see who you specialize in. So if you're saying I help corporate, I help universities, I speak at schools, I speak at associations, and then I need to know that you have some people that already approve of you. So where are some of the other logos of people that have worked with you before? Right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
So that would be the things that I see right off the bat, right? Because we know if you send this to someone, there's just only maybe 4 complete sentences that are there, and that just doesn't give me enough.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I would go less photos and more in-depth, make me choose you. Because it looks more as if it's an advertisement for the book more than something focusing on you as a speaker.
Okay. Should I eliminate the book on this completely or shrink it, or what would you do?
So let me show you some other speaker sheets, and then that'll kind of give you a point of reference.
Great,
right?
thanks.
So I was listening to a podcast this morning, and this guy said, "Hey, yo, I want to check out. I want y'all to see my website." And I looked at his website. I said, "Holy smokes, this is like top 5 speaker websites I've ever seen." Right? And this guy, David Chance. I mean, look at the clarity on that photo. I don't know if he took that at 19K, but it definitely ain't 1080p. That photo is crystal freaking clear, right? But right at the top, he lets you know who he is. You remember, we talked about you want your logo or your name to be there, but it shouldn't take up a large portion of your website, right? So you see how it's over in the corner, but it's on brand with everything that he's doing. Everything he has is color coordinated with the orange and the blue, right? But he tells you I'm an entrepreneur, speaker, teacher, author, and then there's book now. Remember, when you come in, I want you to offer me a cup of coffee or something. So that button is already there, and it's a different color than the other topics. But then he showed me he has friends. You see that? He showed me as these are the prominent places that he's spoken in the past. He goes into what he does, has a quote, he's showing himself speaking. He's not sitting on a couch. He's not meeting with the client. He is speaking in every photo, besides the first intro. Speaking, speaking, speaking. Basically, it's following the same setup as Lethia's. If you remember Lethia's page, we'll look at hers so you can get a feminine perspective also. But then he tells you what he's available for, right? And then he reminds you of his topics, and then he shows you doing it again. He shows himself teaching on a panel with a big background, at a different summit. Then he shows a quote from a reputable person, the Atlanta Hawks, and then he says, "Book me." Now, let me show you his one sheet. He calls it a press kit. It's on the same. He went over to Fiverr or someplace and got a professional design. He invested some money in someone designing it for him. But you notice how much it says about him. Right off the bat, it's telling you a lot about him. And then it tells you some more about him. Because they're trying to book him. They need to know the story. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then he goes into his topics. Okay, now you know who I am. Here's what I do. And here are the books right here. They're all the way in the back because this ain't a brochure for books. This is about me booking David as a speaker. So perception is reality. And this is a great intro into what I wanted to talk about. Perception is reality, right? I'm going to give you a great example. Come back, and I'm going to go back to the world that I came from, right? Let's do State Farm agent, right? And let's just look at a photo of a State Farm agent, right? So these people, they look professional, but they're here, right? And this is the normal State Farm agent outfit. It's going to be the Cliff Paul red polo shirt and khakis. Look like they work at Target. That's their standard, right? Allstate does the same thing. They just make it blue. But what do they sell? Life insurance, auto insurance, investments, so forth and so on, right? But look at this. Look at this guy. What do you notice different? Look what this guy got on. They sell the same freaking products. They got the same life insurance, investments. If you bought Apple stock from the guy at State Farm, it's the same Apple stock that the guy at Edward Jones would sell. But the only difference is how they position themselves in the market. This guy looks like he should be managing your $10 million. The State Farm guy, it's hard for them to get it to roll over. That's why they end up having to give you a discount on car insurance, because the perception in the marketplace is really important. Does that make sense? So when someone goes to your website, when someone looks at your speaker one sheet, you have to look like you've made the investment in yourself, because that's what they're buying. Right? One of the big questions on our survey so far, and I'll bring it up, which pertains to this. I'll show you. 1 second. All right. All right, let me share my screen here. Here's one of the questions we came up with. This is the answers from the people that have taken the survey this far. How much do you typically invest in marketing your speaker business per month? 83% said less than $500, right? Which means they're not investing in anyone to professionally design their websites, to design their collateral, any of those things, right? No, I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm saying that the diamond ring that's purchased out of Walmart has a different perceived value than the one that comes from Jared. It's the same diamond, it's the same chemical compound of gold, but where you got it from is different when you get it from Tiffany's. Tiffany's sell an aluminum ring for $19,000, right? They got a paper clip. They got a Tiffany's paper clip that costs $19,000. Look at this. A freaking paper clip. Look at this.
Oh my gosh, I thought you were kidding.
No, they got a paper clip. Wait, let's just look at a deck of cards. They got this goofy stuff, paper clip playing cards. But it's literally, they got a paper clip, right? And it's nothing fancy. And they charging millions of dollars for them. Why? Because it has the Tiffany logo on it. And we know it's going to be Tiffany blue. You're not telling me that this little keychain right here, $350 for stainless steel?
Ridiculous.
There's more metal, there's more silver in your fork at your house than is in this chain, but they're selling it for $350 because that's what they position themselves in the market. So if you want to go up, you got to go up. I'm going to give you a great example of this. Me, go look at the past 30 things, past 30 videos or 60 videos I had on polos. And I said, you know what, guys, I got to step it up. I can't be coming out here with polos. Let me at least put on a button-up shirt. I act like I don't have no clothes. I got a closet full of tailored clothes upstairs that I don't even wear. Let me look like I'm a professional that owns this business along with the other businesses I own. So the last 4 episodes, I actually put on a button shirt. I got 15 of them in that closet right back there. It's just hanging up there. As soon as this is over, I go take it off and I put back on my polo. But imagine if LeBron James shows up with a football helmet to a Lakers game. He got the wrong uniform on for the sport that he's playing. I had on the wrong uniform, right? I had on the wrong uniform. So I said, wait a minute, look, do I even look like I am who I am? I don't. So let me position myself as the person that I am. I should look a bit executive on these calls, right? But this is what we all go through. So what did I do? Okay, I need to step up my office. So we upgraded the office. Go back and look at the first one. All these paintings on the wall were still wrapped. The canvases are still wrapped. I ain't have no couch. I have none of this stuff. Now we got lighting, flowers. Even our Rocket Man is back. But it's time, guys. You got to be willing to do it ugly and be willing to keep investing and getting it better. I was okay doing this. Ange will tell you. I was okay with this room being empty. Like, I don't need much, but I know it means something to the people who are watching, right? We run a multi-million-dollar company, and I'm over here looking like I'm about to go shoot basketball every day. Nothing wrong with that, but that's not how I should be presenting myself to my clients. In the same way, you have to find out what's the uniform that works for your clients. And what I mean by uniform, I'm not just talking about clothes. I'm talking about website. I'm talking about your LinkedIn. I'm talking about your speaker profile, your speaker reel. All of those things tell a story about what you think of yourself. Here's what I know. We used to, when I was a financial advisor, we used to do this thing called, we used to talk about this thing called preempting. And a preempt is the example, I'll use dating as an example, right? So catcalling, everybody knows what catcalling is, right? Hey, mama, hey, papa, whatever. That's a preempt. The person knows they don't have a shot, so they self-sabotage by catcalling. They know that person wasn't going to talk to them anyway, so they may as well say something stupid, and then they can blame it on her for being stuck up or blame it on him for being too sophisticated. That's a preempt. They were just going to self-sabotaging. We do that. Subconsciously, we do it. We say, man, I ain't going to invest into this website because ain't nobody going to book me anyway. Yeah, because you ain't invested. I ain't gonna do this because it ain't. No. Miss Ann McNeil is always on brand. She has worn red every day since I've met her in July. She is not gonna be off brand. She got the red beats. I know every outfit because I've seen them. They're all red t-shirts, everything. I know Jadika's gonna be on brand with the head wrap. I know she's gonna have a new one every time we get on here. That's the brand, right? So find out what your brand is and make sure that that's being represented in everything you do, your website, your speaker one sheet. Let me show you, Bonnie, because I'm not a designer, okay? But I know where to find one. Go over here to Oval. Can y'all still hear me?
I was really
Can y'all
surprised.
still hear me or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was really surprised to see that David's speaker one sheet is 4 pages long. I
Yeah.
assumed we had a one-page rule.
Yeah, but no, there's no rules. There
So
ain't
yeah,
no rules.
clearly no rule.
No, ain't no rules. You sell what you. He calls his a media kit, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he does a lot of high level stuff in this. Let me give you one of the coolest things. Let me show you something that an amateur speaker wouldn't notice. Why did they put this here? Anyone?
Yeah, because social media is important to the audience and to the client.
Social proof. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what most people think.
It's to reach that, like, people, like, if you have me on your thing, you're able to reach this many people. So
Yep.
like 1 million people between all his social media accounts are going to be able to be touched because of sharing, liking, whatever. And
If I
that's
announce that I'm speaking at your conference on my thing,
Yep.
you probably gonna sell more tickets. So that's why my fee is justified. But you can hire me, but I ain't gonna never post that I spoke at your event. Do you see that? So it's an easy way for him to add marketing to the event by hiring him. I can do an interview about the event. Let me show you where he did this. He just did this. This is how I knew about it. So over here, he did an interview with Jeremy Anderson here, right? But guess what they got coming up? They doing an event together. But it's Jeremy's event. But guess who's speaking? So you think he didn't use that together? Do you see he's speaking at the event, so he was willing to put Jeremy on the podcast? Do you see the marketing opportunity as the speaker? That pushes your fee up, guys. Because now you can not only, Kevin Hart did a great job of this. Kevin Hart would charge people to be in the movie, and then he would charge them to market the movie. So when he was in Ride Along and that other movie he was in, that's what he did. They paid him not only to be an actor, but to be a marketer. If you look at a lot of actors, they don't promote, a lot of times they won't promote the movies they're in because they're not getting paid to promote. But The Rock does, Kevin Hart does. A lot of comedians won't even tell you where they performing at this weekend if the person didn't pay them to do that. So understand that that's part of it as a speaker. Does this make sense, guys? That perception is reality in the minds of most people because they don't know you. So put your best foot forward. I think about how many deals I probably lost because somebody saw me saying I'm the head of product at SpeakerHub with a t-shirt on. Part of what we do is aspirational. Does that make sense? It is aspirational in some cases. We've been taught our whole life that the best dressed person and the person standing up in the room is the leader. Because that's what our teachers did. That's what our pastors do. That's what our managers do. We can't override these subconscious things. Does that make sense? So, Bonnie, you and David pitch the same opportunities. How do you feel?
Oh man, David is so. I get you, Ron. I absolutely get everything you are saying. It makes complete and total sense. I need to do a few things. I would never show up to a gig in a shirt.
No, I'm not saying that.
But
I'm saying this.
I understand you're not insulting me. But I'm just coming back to where I am right now. To be David Shands is my ultimate dream. To be this successful with it and have all these things working. And it's beautiful to see these amazing examples. Next week, I have my first association gig. They want a handout kind of flyer. They want a hard copy of something. So I know some of the things I can do to that speaker sheet that I showed you.
But
one question I have about it, though, it's not going to have a button. The one I send that way digitally will. I can make that happen. Can I put a QR code on that to lead to?
You can.
I just think they're ugly, so I tend to.
Yeah, but here's the thing. What I'm saying is this.
And I'll make the other changes that you suggested.
this person makes Speaker One sheets, and they're $20 for a premium one. They're
Is this
$10 for a basic one.
Is somebody on Upwork or
This is
Fiverr?
Fiverr.com.
It's Fiverr. Okay.
There's a gang of them on there, is what I'm saying. That we can
Yes.
go get an interior designer, right? We can go get a professional designer that can design our kits and help us to put our best foot forward, even when we're not designers.
Got it.
I'm not saying you have to go and hire Maria and Angel like I did. You know, I hired 3 designers, Maria, Angel, and Juliana. But I'm not saying someone needs to do that. You just need someone to go and say, hey, look, can you make me a great press kit for $25?
Yeah. Now I have a professional website I had done, and this is my next step to get onto Upwork or Fiverr and have somebody make this piece of it, the speaker end of it.
Yeah, I mean, and this can be easily done. So I'm not being critical of anyone, but I want to challenge everyone. We got to put our best foot forward, even
Totally
me.
get it.
Right? So my first example of this was me talking about how I had to change from wearing t-shirts to wearing button-up shirts. How I had to get my furniture off the wall. I mean, my canvases off the floor and put them on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
I got to walk it like I talk it. I can't hold you all accountable if I'm not holding myself accountable.
Love
Is that fair?
Love that.
Cool. Darren, what's up?
Hey, how y'all doing?
We're doing well, man. Good to see you.
Good. Look, quick question about the investing in a business. What would you say is the first thing for an emerging speaker to invest in?
Well, I think the first thing you can do is, what's the first impression you give, right? So your website design is usually the first thing someone's going to see. That's why we don't allow a lot of customization to the SpeakerHub profile, because we want it standard, where it's just clean. I would rather them not say anything than say something negative, right? So we keep it standard on the profile. But on your websites, it can be so many different ways, so many different tastes. That's why we never got into website design for speakers. We just talk about the elements. But everybody has their own flavor, right? So the first thing people are going to see is your website before they ever see you. And on that website is going to be moments in time of you out and about doing what you do. Does that make sense, Darren?
Yes.
So you want to make sure that first impression is saying, man, this is if he asked me for $8,000, I should give it to him because it look like he make more than that. $8,000 look like a deal to this dude. When you send that one sheet, they know that one sheet costs $25. They're like, dude, he ain't willing to invest $25. Get out of here. Right? It's not whether they're worth it, it's whether you're worth it. I say that to AJ all the time. It ain't whether, it's whether I'm worth it. You know, if I want to go buy a pair of shoes or a shirt or something, if I want to go eat at a certain steakhouse, it ain't whether the steak is worth it, it's whether I'm worth it. Do I believe that I deserve this thing? Is this how something that I want to experience? So you have to believe that. Because if you don't believe it, they ain't gonna believe it. Got it? Jasmine. And then Christian, did you have a question also?
Yeah, in speaking, I think I'm going to redo my survey because I might have been that 80%. I was thinking just SpeakerHub and not all that I've put into Jazzy Health and Wellness, you know, to do that. And where this is concerned, I think for 1 month in the business, I think I've done maybe 5. I have two podcasts this week, and I can't remember how many. But you know, I think I'm doing well on that. I think I might have underscored myself.
Yeah, that's okay.
It doesn't matter anyways because I can just get better.
It's for you.
I can leave it as is.
It's a self-assessment.
Yes,
We're not going to post the highest ones. We'll never make that information public. That's why I asked if you mind if I even share your score. That data in that survey will never be made public on an individual basis.
Okay.
It will always be cumulative unless someone gives us permission, like I asked you for. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So the cumulative data we'll share, but the individual data, that's for you because we want you to get better.
Oh, that's awesome then. Okay, let it be. As well, I wanted to give a follow-up. You were working on when associations, right? I was saying, oh, there are no associations, they're all saying Toronto or Canada, but it's in the US somewhere. But I decided to dissect the associations a little closer this weekend. And I realized that even though they might say it might come up as Chicago, they have chapters in Toronto. And they have, so they're all over so all the ones that pitch, they're in the US, but they have chapters and they clearly say in Toronto. So when I go send my pitch, I insert in the AI pitch based in Toronto.
Yeah. I mean,
So
and then also a lot of these associations do virtual meetings. So
Yeah.
you may end up doing a virtual there and then asking for a referral to a local chapter or something.
Okay.
Right.
All righty.
Makes sense?
Ron,
Christian, what's up, man?
I was just gonna confirm with you. I've worked in Hollywood for 20 years. I worked on Law and Order, these different shows. Social media has actually become so important as a part of your brand and helping your clients know that you're going to help promote that event. You're going to sell more tickets and bring more awareness to the event. So they're definitely going to, if they're weighing the options and you're one speaker and you got to be similar, the one who's got the more social reach is going to be the one that they're going to book.
No, I think that's a good point. Now, again, that doesn't mean let me go ahead and wipe out the excuse that somebody's going to say, so you saying I shouldn't speak until I get my social media up? No, get your butt on stage. Get out there and do what you need to do. Don't come up with no excuses as to why you're not pitching. Right?
You do it at the same time. As you're doing it, every time you speak, you want to make sure you have a videographer or somebody like that, even if it's your friend at the beginning. But tell them what kind of pictures you want to take, the kinds on stage with somebody in the back, capture the crowd, all of those different things, so that you can build that up on your social media and then use that as content while you're building your audience. And as you're speaking, you should be mentioning your social media at the end of it should be on your, the screen. So you gain more followers as you get out there speaking at every event.
100%. So one of the cool things you can do, Bonnie, is do you have a QR code maker, or are you just going to use Speaker QR to do it?
I've used a couple different things to make QR codes, but I can make that happen. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you can always make it small. Like cameras zoom in, so it don't have to be like a big thing that people can see from the side of the highway. It can be a small little code that's just in the bottom that that you see.
Yes, so, and it's going to be on a table, so there'll be no highway view. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. So yeah, guys. I mean, this is perception is reality, and you want to put your best foot forward because that's the first impression that they have of you. Now, have there been people that got booked without a speaker website? Yes. Have there been people that get booked without a one-pager? Yes. But if I got to build a website, I'm going to make sure mine is right. If I got to send a one-pager, I'm going to make sure mine is right. Is that making sense? So that perception is reality thing is the level of attention and detail. Let me say it this way. I used to book comedians and music artists to come perform at concerts, right? And some of these people would put, I need 607 yellow M&Ms in a bowl. You like, what? You like, why does dude want 607 yellow M&Ms in a particular bowl? And they would put it somewhere on like page 6 of a 10-page contract. And I start asking, why y'all put this stupid crap in here? It was like, yeah, we don't really want that, but we know if we show up and we don't see the M&Ms that you didn't read the contract, right? So you probably left out a bunch of our other stuff also. And I'm like, oh, that's a good Easter egg, right? But that's what they did because it told them a lot about the promoter. Whether the promoter was detail oriented, whether they were going to be on top of their stuff, all of that. And I was like, okay, I get it. So the details do matter. You will be surprised. Let me give you a great example. to my ladies here, how many of y'all done looked at a guy's shoes when he came up to you? I ain't gotta, don't answer. But Bonnie, Jadika Jadika over there like this. Try not to say that. I know y'all be looking at shoes. I know. I know. Look, let me tell you, I'm gonna show y'all something.
We do.
My girl's so mad at me and my shoes. She would have bought me 3 pair because she hates the shoes I wear. That's how I knew y'all was important for shoes. Now, them been sitting there for 2 months because I ain't worried about them shoes. But they were so you need to get some new shoes. You always wear the same. I'm like, I don't even go nowhere. I wear the same shoes in the house. But I know it's important. So if those details are important to you guys, imagine the little nuanced details that are important to the person that's looking to book you. Because they've had an experience with someone who didn't pay attention to their entire message from first contact all the way to follow up to everything else. And they had a bad experience. And they're like, yeah, if they ain't giving a good first impression here, they're probably not going to give a good first impression on the stage. Got it? So with 3 minutes of overtime, guys, I have another 12 minutes before I have to hop off. This has been a good topic today because I think it's one of those topics that you kind of got to take the advice from people that care about you and care about seeing you getting on more stages so that you don't get offended. So that's what we try to make here, a great loving environment where nobody's going to attack you, but I'm going to be the first person to show you my mistake and then show you how I'm improving and then make it comfortable for you to say, okay, I see where they're going. And we're going to give you examples. So whether you want to take the example for how you should improve your website, I'll give you a great example of this. There was a gentleman during the, real quick, and I'll let you go, Jasmine. What's your question?
Saying
Okay.
I have to run if it's not important, have a
Okay.
meeting.
Yeah. Oh, no, it's all good. I'll see you later. Good to see you.
Tomorrow.
So during the Pro Speaker Summit, there was a gentleman that asked us to critique his website, and we gave him a website critique. And then he sent me an email saying that I was too harsh. And I said, dude, you volunteered to come up here to give a website critique. And then he sent me another email. And I said, okay, I apologize. My bad. I'll never do it again. Let me just make sure I get everybody's permission. He sent me another email last week about how I was critical of his website. I'm like, dude, but he didn't know me, right? So he hadn't been to any of the meetings. He hadn't understood that I have his best interest in mind, but he was protective of his baby. And I don't blame him. We're all protective of our babies. But we also got to let our babies grow up. I love my little daughter, but I don't mind when she bump her head because she learns, right? And then she gets stronger and she learns not to do that again. That's what we're all doing in business, in our speaking careers, and in everything we're doing. So, Bonnie, I'm gonna give you a virtual hug because I don't want to get no emails from you and Gary and everybody saying that I picked on you with your speaker sheet. Okay.
Read my comment. Read my comment.
Okay, I haven't seen the comments. Ange be reading the comments for me.
We're all here to learn and support.
Okay.
Love your attitude.
Okay, perfect. That's good. That's good, So, but any other questions, guys, before we hop off for the day? Hopefully this was helpful, but I want us to put our best foot forward, best feats forward, right? Anyone else? Any questions? Darren, how's your revision going? You've been on Fiverr?
I haven't been on Fiverr, but I did revise it. I'll have it revised before the end of the month. I do have 2 podcasts set up, but yeah, man, thank you for critiquing, and it definitely helped out. Put the transcript in the chat GBT, fixed it how I needed to fix it, ran it by a couple other people, and they definitely have seen my growth over 9 months. So,
hey, did y'all see that website Lethea showed? Did y'all see that website? Lethea showed her website from like years ago, and she had she wasn't even talking about the picture. She said I didn't see it. she was being critical of her outfit. She was like holding an invisible baby. It was so funny, man. but look at her website now. Her new website is killer, right? So we all get better. That's what we're gonna do here, and I'm glad that. Oh, I said I was gonna show that, didn't I? Because we showed David's. But yeah, I mean, Lethia's looks equally as good.
Hey, Ron, as you're just pulling that up, I just want to let everybody know I asked Angela when I first met about these types of trainings, and man, this has been awesome. Keep doing what y'all doing, man.
Oh no, thank you, man. I mean, my thoughts are information is free, right? But implementation is the hard part, right? So if we can give you the information and then you choose to use our software to implement what we're teaching you, that's how the world gets better, right? But yeah, I mean, like her and David's website are very similar. Look at these. Like starts off with a great hero shot. Look at that, right? She has her logos down there. He has his logos down there. It goes down into a quick quote from someone that he's worked with, that she's worked with. He went into his mission, but she covers that next. Meet Lethea. Then it's going to say meet David, probably. Let's see. Boom. Like, I mean, they're following the same things, right? There's his topics. And let's see what Lethea got. Lethea got her stuff here, her framework. Very similar process. What's the last thing on the page? The books. You know, his books are actually up in the corner. DABO. I think that's one of his books. But yeah, dreams are built overnight, right? But that's it. This is the formula is there, guys. All you got to do is follow. I showed you a male perspective and a female perspective for you all to be able to find what works. It's worth the investment of getting a interior designer, as I like to say, to put your house in order so that you make a great first impression. You know, I remember when I was growing up, side note, there was a lady that lived on our street. And you go over her house, I used to have to go over there after school. And, you know, different people, you know, and you could taste what they was cooking in the smell of the house. You like, man, you like, wait a minute, even when I taste the ice, I get this aroma. We get the same things, even though I never mentioned that to her, and I never would out of respect, right? I just didn't want to eat or drink any water over there because I didn't want to taste whatever she had cooked the day that she filled up the ice cubes, right? A lot of people will come to your site. They will look and they will never tell you that they didn't like this one thing. They will just leave and go to somebody else's. Does that make sense? They will just leave and be nice. They'll be cordial. They just won't book you. Won't put their name in that form. They ain't gonna apply to your email. They ain't gonna do, I don't really vibe with this, right? So figuring that out and who your audience is and being able to work directly with them is super duper duper important. Because you don't want them to be like, I ain't drinking no more of that. I'm gonna go and put that down. You don't want them to do that. Because they say something funny in the ice and they'll never mention it to you. So I know that's a crude example, but we all have been through it. We had all been there. We know some experience where we've had that. And but we were kind enough not to mention it to the person. We don't want people to do us like that. We want to make it where they're comfortable and they're willing to give us feedback. So if there's nothing else, guys, I'm gonna go refill my cup with some fresh ice because this is a bit soggy. And I'll catch up with y'all tomorrow. Any other questions before we go? No? Great time. This is great.
Hey,
Oh, go ahead.
hey, Ron, can you go over podcasts tomorrow or what have you? I don't
Yeah,
know
what
if
you
you already
want
have
to know
some.
about? Tell me about
Well,
podcast. How I get
to
customers for podcasts?
yeah, it's how to get customers and how to direct those to leads of like in-person events and all that stuff. Knowing how to filter your podcast so you get you get a condensed search so you're marketing to the right people, like all that stuff. How to
I'm gonna
identify
give you
what
a
you're
really
good
quick
at.
hit. Make a list of 10 of your competitors.
Okay.
5 people that are at your level and 5 people that are a little bit ahead of you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then search for them in the episode section. Pitch those podcasts.
Okay.
Right? Why? Because I know that podcaster already accepts those people. And they already have my audience because they're my competitors. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So you want to find the podcast that your competition has been on. That's an easy way to get your first few podcasts nailed and get them dialed in. Now, I don't know how many you've been on, but I'm just saying for someone who's looking on an easy way to get on podcasts, just go down the Blaze trail, the trail that's already been blazed. So for me, I look at, well, where has Odell Bezell been on? Or where has Brian Olds been on? Or where has, I don't know, Jared Scott, right? Where have these guys been on? Because we're in the same space.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Yep. But I'll go over that tomorrow for sure. So that'll be the topic tomorrow. We'll talk about getting leads from podcasts, right? And we got a whole playbook on that. That soon as Gustavo get this, he showed us today. We're like 70% there for the new SpeakerHub. As soon as he gets the new thing done, I mean, he got logos now. It didn't have logos the other day. It's got a news feed and everything. Once that's done, we'll be releasing the 6 playbooks. We have the inbound playbook, the outbound playbook, the podcast playbook, the local association playbook, the conference playbook, and the media outlet playbook. This is a part of the speaker launch formula training that we did, but we have more in detail. This is included for everyone who has a lifetime account with us. And you'll get those playbooks along with the videos that go along with it that walk you through examples like David's website or Alethia's website so that you can, make sure you're putting your best foot forward. We want y'all to be Tiffany. You want to be the Tiffany of speakers. You show up, people should feel good. They like, look, just seeing Bonnie's site and her thing relieve my anxiety. So find the colors that are like anxiety relieving and make your stuff those colors. Like think through all of that. You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised how cool that will be and how impactful it is. Make sense?